y'all, welcome to my channel. Today's video, I want to talk about what I want to read in the month of November, and I'm really excited about this. I got to thinking about November, and here in the U.S., November means Thanksgiving, and there's always kind of some memories towards history and family and being grateful for things. And so I decided I would read some American literature for November. I am also going to seek out, I'm going to spend a little bit of time at the beginning of November looking for Native American authors because I really want to. We hear a lot of colonial literature or some colonial literature. There's not a lot. But I want to read Native American literature as well. I'm not going to talk about that today because I don't know what they are yet. But I do want to read some Native American literature over the month. So the first thing I do know that I want to read though, is the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Looking towards colonial America, that seems like a really a good choice. This has been in my collection for a while. I have not read it yet, so this seems a wonderful time to do so. I also want to drag out my Great American Short Stories. These go a lot of different American short story writers. The short story is something that Americans have done very well through the years. We have the attention span of a bug, and we like our literature that way too, or have through history developed that kind of literature. The other three books are part of my old book collection, and I want to read these. Even though they're old and they're delicate, they still need some love. Now, I will not be annotating these books. However, they do need to very gently be read and loved periodically. So the first one I'm going to bring up is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I picked this volume up about 10 years ago when we took a vacation to Vancouver, and there was this little bookshop on the corner from the hotel, and I picked up this book, and I picked up a very little tiny Book of Common Prayer from the 1870s, and it was written in the front of it, to Alice so-and-so from her neighbor, Mrs. whoever it was, on the event of her confirmation. So I thought that was so sweet, and that one's in behind the glass case where this one was. But I do want to read this one. The Scarlet Letter is a tale about sex and intrigue in Puritan New England. So my plan is to read that one this month, along with the short stories. Then another author that I thought about isn't colonial, but he is early American. And he wrote about New England, early New England, also short stories, and those are the selected writings of Washington Irving. This is an old modern library edition. I bought this. Okay, this is me thrifting books. I got this at an English department book sale at the University of South Carolina. The nursing building is just past the English literature department, and they were having a book sale, and I couldn't help myself. So I stopped and I got this book, and inside of it says Edward Bodie Davis 220. That was a dorm on campus, and so it was at one time. And inside this book there were some note cards, and so he had been writing on the back of this. It turned out that Edward H. Bodie Jr. was a graduate student then graduate student at the University of South Carolina, went on to teach English literature at the University of South Carolina. And one of these note cards is actually his permission slip to get in the stacks at the library. So he was named Edward H. Bodie Jr., September 11th, 1957. Need for admittance to the stack was graduate study, working on his Master's of Arts in English. And then all these notes on the back of these two cards. And I kind of dug around in here. Apparently he was doing a presentation on Oliver Goldsmith, who wrote The Vicar of Wakefield, which was actually around the same time as Washington Irving was writing. So I thought that was interesting. So just little treasures from that you find in books that you get. So my plan is to read Professor Bodie's edition of the selected writings of Washington Irving. The last book I want to try to read, and I'm going to say try to read these because we are going to be in the middle of the quarter in November, and I will have lots of papers to grade and papers to read. So I am not sure how much of, I'm trying to keep my stack of stuff down, probably a little too much. But A World to Win by Upton Sinclair. This is also from my old book collection. This is a first printing, 1946, of Upton Sinclair's A World to Win. This takes place in the early days, just a prelude to America's entry into World War II, and then through the war years. So this is my plan. This one actually belonged to my grandmother, and when she passed, some of her books came to me. I have memories of going to Mama's house, and there were stacks of paperbacks all along the couch at Mama's house because Mama loved to read. She loved to read. She passed that on to her children and grandchildren. All right, so guys, that is what I am planning on reading for the month of November. What is on your reading list, and what should I add? If you have recommendations on Native American authors, I would love to hear them. And otherwise, I will see you. There's another video coming out soon that will be what I actually read in October and little reviews of those books. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.